Here is a look at Parliament Hill as protesters continue to rally against public health measures. A huge crowd that is growing by the hour. Ottawa police warning residents to avoid all travel to the downtown core. Just some of the scenes there from the nation's capital where thousands have gathered. The protest began as a means to oppose the vaccine mandate for cross-border truckers. And as you heard, many are celebrating and calling for freedom. Now, more people are expected to arrive throughout the day, and some have said they will not leave until their demands are met. Hello everyone, I'm Natasha Fatah. You're watching CBC News Network. Let's go to our nation's capital once again, where we'll find CBC's David Cochran, who has been tracking the protest rally all day. He's at the Sir John A. Macdonald building opposite of Parliament Hill, and that's where he joins us from. So David, give us a sense of what we are seeing so far and what we might expect to see in the coming hours.
Yeah, Natasha, downtown Ottawa is pretty full right now. It is so full, in fact, that the city is warning people not to bring any vehicles into the downtown. There were some concerns about drones and helicopters flying over Parliament Hill, that the airspace above the parliamentary precincts have been closed. But the road, I'm just going to show you if JF can move the camera over here. This is why the warning is not to come to the downtown. These trucks have been here overnight. People slept in these trucks. This is Wellington Street, which runs right through the downtown in front of the parliamentary buildings, and it is just full of trucks and thousands of people coming here to protest vaccine mandates for truckers, to protest any kind of health mandate in general, including vaccines, mask policies, and restrictions. This has really morphed from an issue solely about truckers to a broader battle about public health mandates here in Canada. And this has been building, Natasha, throughout the day. Some estimates from police say about 10,000 people might come here. And while there was some concern because of extremist groups being connected with this convoy, some of the personal connections of the organizers involved with this, they did promise a peaceful protest, and to this point, the word has been kept. There have not been any incidents or serious incidents that we know of. That doesn't mean that everything has been perfect. However, while there hasn't been any violent incidents, there has been a total disregard for public health rules here in Ottawa. The Rideau Centre, which is one of the major shopping centres down this way past Parliament Hill, it was forced to close down today because a large volume of people went in and refused to wear masks. You're hearing reports of this in liquor stores and in restaurants throughout the downtown, where people are going in not wearing masks in places where masks are required and refusing to just listen to the security who try to enforce it, and the sheer numbers of it essentially make it an impossibility. There's a McDonald's around the corner from where we are right now that is supposed to have no more than 5 or 6 customers in it, according to the sign that is posted on the door. It was blocked earlier today, easily 50 people jammed inside it. So you're having incidents like this. There were vehicles and an RV parked on the cenotaph at the National War Memorial that was had to be cleared out by Ottawa police. And you're seeing incidents like this. A statue of Terry Fox just down the road from here, across from Parliament Hill, next to the Prime Minister's office. It was decorated with anti-vaccine protest signs. The Mayor of Ottawa, Jim Watson, had to ask city staff to take that away, and it even brought a statement from the Terry Fox Foundation. So you have the clash of the ideas, the opposition to the vaccine mandates, the opposition to masking rules, all playing out here. But in terms of this escalating to a level of physical violence that you know, security officials and police officials were worried about leading up to this, no manifestation of that now as people continue to come into the downtown, Natasha. We'll see how long that lasts. It's cold. It was -30 this morning. It's got a wind chill of more than -20 right now, and soon the sun is going to go down and take whatever warmth it's delivering with it. We'll see what that does to the numbers here in downtown Ottawa.
Well, let's talk about the issue around these pandemic rules and regulations, whether it is the truckers or people who have jumped onto this convoy. The whole issue is we want some of these demands to be met by the federal government. Is there any indication that the federal government is going to concede?
No, there's absolutely not. In fact, the Prime Minister and his senior ministers have made it clear that they are sticking with the vaccine mandate for truckers, and they are not moving on off their position that vaccination is the best way out of this, and that there needs to be public health restrictions to convince more and more people to get their first, second, and possibly even their third shots. And even if they did capitulate and get rid of the vaccine mandate for truckers, which is ostensibly at the center of this, it wouldn't matter anyway because they couldn't cross the Canada-U.S. border because President Joe Biden and his government has brought in a vaccine mandate for people crossing into the United States. So even if Canada got rid of its mandate, the United States has one in place, so there is still a barrier and an obstacle at the border that these trucks, as big as they are, simply cannot clear. So the politics on this has been pretty clear because in some ways this debate, Natasha, is a continuation of what we saw in the last federal election campaign with vaccine being a big wedge issue, the Liberals firmly behind it, the Conservatives voicing support for vaccination but voicing opposition to vaccine mandates, and some of their members of Parliament have been out supporting people today up on Parliament Hill, meeting people in trucks along the protest routes, and Aaron O'Toole, the Conservative leader, met with some members of this convoy in private, trying to show support for their cause, but also distancing themselves from some of the extreme groups that are part of it. Because, Natasha, you got to remember, some of the organizers have this manifesto that they've written that they want to dissolve Parliament while they're here. They want to occupy Ottawa until the Trudeau government is removed and a committee of people organizing this protest, along with the Senate and the Governor General, rule the country for 90 days and undo all of these health mandates, even though most of these are provincially imposed mandates or private sector imposed mandates. So it's kind of a fantastical manifesto with no foundation in Canadian law or ability to do it, and certainly none of it is going to change the mind of the Trudeau government. And, you know, to even point out the Canadian Trucking Alliance, they point out that 85 to 90% of their members are vaccinated. That's in line with where the Canadian population is. Support for vaccination is incredibly high in this country just by the uptake and what we see in public opinion polling. So there is no political pressure on the Trudeau government to move, and certainly, despite the noise and the size and the determination of this crowd, the federal Liberals are not going to drop their plan here.
CBC's David Cochran in Ottawa. Thank you, David.
Thank you.